Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn about reproductive health. Well, first of all, the question arises, why we study reproductive health? And before why, we should have to go to what is reproductive health. Now, reproductive health is well-being of an individual in terms of reproductive parts and capability. Now, just as I told you, reproductive parts, we already have studied this under the topic male and female reproductive system. The male and female reproductive systems, cleanliness, its freeness from the diseases is very, very important. Now, coming to the capability, when we are talking about capability, we are talking about the capacity of an individual to produce or reproduce its own kind and healthy. So, the capability means to produce healthy individuals. What are healthy individuals? The individuals which are free from the diseases and which, when they grow up, they contribute to the society and the workforce. Their productive nature is more. That is how we can actually consider the reproductive capability. Now, coming to the next question is, what is the concern and why we have to study it and what are its concern? We need to study about reproductive health because we need a good productive workforce and a healthy society. The society which is free from AIDS, which is free from syphilis, other STDs. I will tell you about this also in my continuing lecture. Now, coming to the third part, what are the concerns of the reproductive health? Now, there is the first concern is to create awareness regarding one's body, that is reproductive aspects. One should know about his or her body. The girl should know about the menstrual cycle properly and how they can be clean at that time. The boys also have to also know about their body after puberty, the changes they are taking place in the body and how to cope up with them. It is both psychological and physical and has to be told about that. We will read it in my continuing lecture. Now, coming to this, second is that to create the awareness about STD or sexually related disorders. Now, how we can create this awareness? Now, awareness I have given here. We have to apply also the knowledge. It is not only the awareness but implementation also is there. So, what are STDs? STDs are sexually related diseases. For example, syphilis, then gonorrhea. These are the diseases you learned in 10th class. Now again they are going to come. Then there are certain PIDs also. We will take up it later on. Now, to create awareness about population control. Now this is a big concern because as the resources are not growing but the population is growing. Malthus has already told, we know it, that the population is growing at an explosive rate but the resources are only growing at arithmetic. The population, again I am repeating, the population is growing at exponential or explosive rate, but the resources are not growing so. So we are seeing so many types of struggle around the world. People are migrating from one place to another. They are fighting for the food resources. They are fighting for the infrastructure resources. In India itself, you could have seen that lot of the people you can see on the market, etc. There is a lot of struggle for buying something, for eating something. You can see those things. So definitely now in the coming future, if the population is going to grow like this, there will be hardly any space for us to live on properly. We are actually founding scarce and scarce fertile land areas to support the lands. And now coming to the next one is to create awareness about population control. Already I told you. now comes last topic to also consider. It also considers health of mother and child. Now, in case of the reproduction, there is a post, there is pre and post natal stage. Now, this is taught in the medical science to the gynecology students. Now, what is prenatal stage? The stage of pre-birth of the individual. Pre-birth means when the fetus development will, first of all, the fertilization will take place after coitus, and then the formation of the embryo, and then the embryo will develop into a fetus, and the fetus is going to then develop into a baby, and it is given birth. If the baby is going to suffer from some diseases, so definitely it is going to be a cause of concern. There it can be reproductive or it can be other type of disorders. So we have to be concerned with that. And the health of the mother is very important here. Suppose the mother is suffering from malnutrition, she is not getting the proper diet, she is anemic. So these are all going to affect the health of the mother as well as the child. So that is also has to be taken care of. Now natal stage, postnatal stage, it is after the birth. So the feeding of the baby, etc. till 6 months, the mother and the baby both have to be given a lot of concern. And I should say up to 1 year there has to be a concern, because in the earlier part the baby is also having low immunity, so it has to be taken care of. The mother is also going to suffer from some disorders if not proper care and nutrition is given to the mother. So my next topic that I am going to take up is, I am going to tell you about through a flow chart with what things we are going to study. So children, just now I told you what is reproductive health, and I also told you about the concerns. India was the first country. India was the first country in 1951 to implement family planning measures. What are family planning measures? It was to control the population. Because we already know that if the population is growing like this, the resources are growing like this only. The resources will be growing like this. These are resources and this is population. Now this is the time. I should tell you one thing, in 1917, the population of the world was smaller compared to what it is like now. It was only 1 billion or 1.5 billion. Now the population has risen to about 8.5 billion. And the resources have not grown to that extent. Even if the resources have grown leaps and bounds, but it is not catering all the population. Why this is happening around is due to many causes are there. We can talk about them later on. Let me tell you why the family planning. Now when our country has implemented family planning, the country's population was only 34 crore to 35 crore. But now how this happened that in span about 50 years, 45 years, this population grows to such an extent. Now family planning failed. Now why it failed? It failed because people did not adopt it to the ground level. The application of any idea or program actually depends on how it is implemented and how on the ground it is taken up. But that failed because it was only implemented but not properly followed up by the people. Now what happened then? Then the government came up with RCH program. Now, what is RCH program? It is Reproductive Child Health care program. It was in 1980s. Now this program is successful. Why it was successful? Because both health of child and mother was, I should say, is taken care of. Earlier only the emphasis was to control the population till pre-fertilization stage, and after the birth there were no such programs. Now for this program only, government gives free food, medical treatment, to mother and child 6 months after birth also. So this is happening around, and this is very successful program. Now when we talk, already I told you what is RCH. Now it is a very big thing to discuss on this platform right now. So you will learn more about it as you grow older, as you go to the higher classes. Now I will be telling you about the other things which have been there in concept. After, because I already told you in reproductive health, we discussed about reproductive health, we discussed about family planning, we discussed about the other aspects. Now there is another thing. There is a program known as sex determination test. Amniocentesis is the word we use for the sex determination test. Here what happens is, the mother which is having the baby, the fetus is growing here. Now this is the amniotic fluid. This is the fluid. Now what happens is, by the help of the injection, fluid is taken out and then tested for chromosomal pattern. It only be done at 3rd month. The pattern can show sex of child and other disorders. In the chromosomes, let me tell you, already amniotic fluid is present there. It contains some stem cells. There can be some stem cells which are going to produce the baby parts. So these fragments are also going to come with the amniotic fluid. The amniotic fluid which is taken, then tested for chromosomal pattern in the laboratory in vitro, in the test tube, and the pattern can show us about the differences of X and Y chromosomes. So one can actually tell about the sex of the baby. But this test has been banned. Statutory ban should be applied to it. Now this question is asked most of the times. Why statutory ban should be applied? As it has led to female feticide. Females are being killed, so that is why we need to stop that practice. But it is also important, this test is also beneficial to find out the genetical disorders. If there is any type of anomaly in the chromosome, like if it is XXX, if 3 chromosomes are present, then super females will be there, XO is there, Turner syndrome can be there. So the baby will contain many types of disorders. So we need to also look after these things. So amniocentesis is good and bad both. But now most of the people, the NGOs etc., they are asking that it should be banned. Now children, coming to the next topic, we are going to see why population of our country is increasing. So this is a cause of concern also. Now the answer is due to better medical facilities, high birth rate, low mortality rate of infants, food security, then better infrastructure, now these are the things which are there. Now earlier the people used to die with medical deficiencies. They were not given proper facilities and they used to die. But now most of the diseases have been cured upon, like tuberculosis, plague, etc., are not killing people as they were killing earlier. Yes, corona has come, but it is not killing the people at the rate what the Spanish flu did during the Second World War, First World War. Now, when we are going to talk about the birth rate, yes, the birth rate is growing, the fertility rate is there more. Then, why this is there? Because of the non-implementation of the birth control measures in certain religions. They are prohibiting it. Then coming to the next is low mortality rate of infants is there. Then food security is more compared to earlier. There were more famines which used to kill a large number of people. There are better agriculture practices now, so to control the pest. Then better infrastructure is also there. We are having better houses to live upon. The more houses are having the facilities. So these all are actually contributing towards the increase in the population rate. And less awareness about outcome of population explosion. Now people just talk about, but are they aware and they are applying it also? So that is also a concern. So less awareness is there, so the population explosion is taking place. Now children, when we talk about these all things, we need to actually discuss now why this is taking place and how to control that. So I will come to this content and we will discuss it in my later on lecture. Thank you children.